Remember Tucker Carlson, the guy who had a show on Fox and then had a show on Twitter, and then I don't know where his show is now, but he was creepy back then. And now he's at a Trump rally being even creepier. Watch this.
And when Dad gets home, you know what he says? You've been a bad girl. You've been a bad little girl, and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now. And no, it's not going to hurt me more than it hurts you. No, it's not. I'm not going to lie. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it hurts me. And you earned this. You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
Just an observation of mine that I made. I just have to say it. You know it. You feel it. These guys are creepy, and yes, just weird as hell. That's what you see. That's what you see.
What? Dad's home and I gotta spank you, little girl, and they're all going, yeah, like that's just creepy and weird and disgusting, really. And the guy's been at it for a long time.
Alicia Smith, pictured on the screen, accused of grinding on the 15-year-old, putting her head between his legs and fondling him. Smith reportedly admits to doing all this, but only after the rest of the class, she says, convinced her to.
Okay.
So, you know, I think legitimate opinion divides whether this was appropriate for the classroom or not.
What?
But there are people, hold on, let me finish. There are people out there who believe that there ought to be criminal sanctions brought against this woman. And I think that's deranged.
So if the class
because there's no victim here.
Listen, I was once a 15-year-old boy too, and Tucker says that would be fun. Let me tell you something. That would be mortifying to have your teacher give you a lap dance in front of the other kids. Mortifying. But somehow these guys think they're relatable.
I think outside Jesse, most of us are weird. Outside Jesse. Most of us have a little bit of thing that's a little non-traditional. And I think by calling people weird, that'll make them more relatable.
Okay, I see what Kilmeade's trying to do here. He's trying to say that being weird is kind of like nerdy, being quirky. People have quirks. People are weird in a cute way. You guys are weird in a creepy way. Creepy way.
These guys are just weird. That's who they are. So it isn't much else. Don't give them the power. Look, are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes. They're going to do all that. But don't lift these guys up like they're sometimes the heroes. Everybody in this room knows, I know it as a teacher, a bully has no self-confidence. A bully has no strength. They have nothing. The fascists depend on fear. The fascists depend on us going back. But we're not afraid of weird people. We're a little bit creeped out, but we're not afraid.
Tim Walz is right. You got to call them weird. You got to call them creepy, because that is what they are. Tucker Carlson in that rally being up there going like, Dad's home and you got to spank the bad little girl. That's just creepy stuff. I don't know what's going on in his family. I don't know what kind of relationship he has with his kids or his wife, or if anybody calls him out on that stuff. Someone should say, Dad, you're kind of like weird and creepy and scary. It's a little scary, but it goes from the top down. I mean, Donald Trump famously said that if Ivanka wasn't his daughter, he'd want to date her. So he's kind of like, you know, giving googly eyes to his own daughter. We've seen how he is with other women, with this whole grab him by the he was convicted of sexual assault. They're creepy people. And it goes down the ladder. I mean, it's like you got Trump is creepy. Frankly, J.D. Vance is kind of creepy. He's got some skeletons in his closet. That whole couch thing, which was made up. But still, we all know they're creepy. Ted Cruz just looks like a creep and is creepy. Josh Hawley looks creepy. They're all very creepy and weird, and they got to be called out on it, because some of this rhetoric is not actually charming as they think it is. I don't know if you saw the other clip. There was a clip of Jesse Waters talking to Stephen Miller, and he said that they'd been getting emails saying Stephen Miller is kind of a sex pot of some sort. And it was weird. Like Stephen Miller's like, yeah, you know, if you really want to turn on the women, be a Trump guy. Yeah. And you're looking at Stephen Miller, you're like, oh my God. It just gives you chills in a very creepy way. Like, I don't know what's going to come out with any of these guys, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came out that they had literal skeletons in their closet, like they had, you know, they're Jeffrey Dahmer types. I wouldn't be surprised, because they are all very creepy. And again, going back to the beginning of what we saw with Tucker Carlson, Brian Kilmeade trying to defend weird. It's funny that the term weird really set them off. You know, Donald Trump as well was like, they're calling us weird. They're weird. They're acting like they're, you know, kindergartners. But the truth is, the things they say, things that they stand for are all very creepy and weird. The fact that they want to be in your bedroom all the time. They want to tell you what you can and cannot do. I mean, a lot of this stuff comes from the far right, the religious right, that actually took away a woman's right to choose after 50 years of quietly laying and waiting until they could get those Supreme Court justices where they needed them, and they took a woman's right away to choose. And we know that if these people win, that Clarence Thomas famously said in that decision where they took away Roe versus Wade, he said that we're going to be looking at gay marriage next. They want to make sure that you're not having gay sex. They want to make sure that you are not having an abortion if you choose to have an abortion. They want to make sure that they're in your bedrooms telling you what to do and what not to do. They're very creepy and they're very weird. And the truth is, we always hear every few months something comes out with another, religious type or a far right person. There was the famous, I think it was Jerry Falwell Jr., one of these guys who was caught up in some sort of love triangle, but they pretend to be just the most moral people in the world. And that's really the problem. If you were someone who said, look, I got a lot of faults, I'm not the perfect person, and that was how you lived, then we'd say, all right, that's fine. This person is at least honest about it and has had problems in their lives and has had problems in their personal lives. All right, great. But these guys pretend to be perfect, clean as a whistle, and then things come out. And then we hear them saying things like, Dad's going to come home and spank the bad girl. I mean, what Tucker Carlson was trying to use as a metaphor there was that something's happened in our culture, something's happened in these past 4 years. And Dad, I guess in that case, is Donald Trump. He's going to come home and he's going to clean things up. He's going to spank you. So I guess as a nation, we'll be getting spanked pretty soon if he wins. I really hope he doesn't win. Please, people, please vote. Please vote and don't vote for him. Please. We don't want to be spanked by Dad. He's a creep. He's a weirdo. Did you see him talking about Arnold Palmer's private parts? Who does that? Who gets into a speech and starts just going off on the private parts of a famous golfer who's dead? The guy is he's off. They're all off. Please, let's have some sanity. Marjorie Taylor Greene, off. Lauren Boebert, going to a play. You're a congresswoman. She went to the play Beetlejuice, the musical, and she's making out and getting groped and she's vaping and there's pregnant people around her. Creepy, weird, bad people. They're not good people. Remember when J.D. Vance was chosen as the VP choice and there was a whole debate going did they make a bad choice? Was there a good choice? Who would have been a good choice? Marco Rubio? He's a creep too. They're all creeps. Who would have been a good choice? Mike Johnson? Definitely a creep. Mike Johnson has an app or something where he and his son keep track of each other's masturbation schedules or something like that. It's weird. And listen, I'm not 100% sure that is true, but the fact that it could be and that we could believe it being true shows you how creepy and weird these people are. If I told you that Elizabeth Warren is doing something like this, you'd be like, no, Maz, you're out of your mind. But when I tell you that Mike Johnson does something like this, when I tell you that Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Jim Jordan, Paul Gosar, they're all weird, creepy dudes who want to be in your bedroom and tell you what to do with your private life and then use analogies and metaphors like spanking the girl. And then when you call them weird, they get offended. I'm not weird. You're creepy weird. You're not quirky weird. Quirky weird is like, the guy they play with their hair when they talk to you. Or, they just kind of smile when they're talking to you. They got a little quirky smile. That's quirky. That's cute. We can get behind that. Creepy weird is Dad's coming home to spank you. You've been a bad little girl. Bad little girl. We're in 2024, dude. You don't spank your teenager. Are you out of your mind? How about evolving a little bit? How about talking to someone who's a professional, a mental health professional, tells you that your kid does not have the mental capacity to do everything you're telling them to do, clean their room or whatever it is. And you're not supposed to spank them, you dumbo. You don't spank a teenage daughter. Are you out of your mind? Do you understand what kind of trauma you're creating for their future? That daughter will come home in 10, 20 years from now and say, my husband's been spanking me and I've been liking it and now he's abusing me. And it's all because I allowed you to abuse me. It'll come out in the future, Tucker. It will. So stop being a creep and stop spreading such negativity. And you're smart enough. You're smart enough. I know you're trying to rile up that crowd. But horrible metaphor, horrible analogy, but I would expect nothing less, because that's who these people are. So folks, vote. Vote like your butt depended on it. You don't want to get spanked by these people. Please, go vote. Vote, please. Vote for Kamala, please. Listen, vote for whoever you want, but just don't for Donald Trump. Not for Donald Trump, please. These people are creepy. I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I'm on tour. I'm all over the country. Check out my schedule. Come see me live. Or check out my special on YouTube. It's called The Birds and the Bees. And if you like it, tell your friends. And if you don't like it, keep it to yourselves.